Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, everybody. How is everyone doing? Let's analyze the situation here for the price of Bitcoin. We're getting a little bit of pumpy action right now with the New York Open. We'll be analyzing the situation here all together. Let's go, legends. Make sure to absolutely destroy that like button on your way in. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, guys. Let's try and get this on already, okay? Because we got a little bit of a pump and dump here. Let's turn the music down. Not Friday yet, so let's go right away through the different scenarios on the price of Bitcoin. A little bit of local volatility here in this range. We did explain yesterday why this is such an important level of support. Okay, we do have a lot of support in this region. We do have the point of control of this entire consolidation, but most importantly, we will be going through what is happening in this trading zone. Okay, hang on a minute, we need to refresh this. What's going on here? Things are not working today, guys. Internet is not playing ball here with me, and we'll be going through right away the different scenarios on the price of Bitcoin. Come on, what the heck is this? Come on, leave me alone. Let's go. So we are getting that bounce. We are getting that reaction throughout the last few days at the anchored VWAP from the low of April, and we do have the point of control. So we do know that this is a very strong base. Could we manage to see the price of Bitcoin coming all the way up to $113,000, $114,000 range? That is a possibility that could happen. I am betting on that possibility here at the lows with this local double bottom and this incredible amount of support. We're looking for that potential rally, okay? We're getting a little bit of local volatility. Let's see if we can get that leg to the upside. We got the stock market open, and we do have right now at 6 o'clock, okay, UAE time. That's in about 20 minutes from now. We do have some news, ISM PMI, okay, that's coming in here in the next 20 minutes. So we might be getting some volatility here in about 20 minutes. And right now we are bouncing. I am still short on Ethereum and long on Bitcoin. So I'm in a schlong, right? We're longing and we're shorting, right? This zone is very good support. Long is not doing too bad, just came back down to entry here, and this could actually be quite bullish if we do break out the highs. If we do manage to break out the highs, which is increasing in probabilities right now as we speak, it could be a pretty interesting push out, guys, okay? The overall speculation here would be forming a multiple 1-2 setup and getting the breakout to form your 4-5-4-5, get all the way up here to these highs. Maybe that is the case. Let's see if this push does manage to break out. Maybe we do get some good news today with PMI data coming out, okay? And that's in about 20 minutes from now. So could this news create that push to the upside as Bitcoin is getting that insane amount of support here from the point of control and the anchored VWAP from April? We'll be discussing the Elliott wave scenarios, the different possibilities that could happen right over here. We need to talk about one crypto that I got wrecked on, guys. I do read through the comment section, guys, all right? And then we'll talk about some predictions, but overall, you should tell us your story about Umbrella. Anybody that is a legit follower, we know that Umbrella was inside of my portfolio with less of 1% of my entire crypto portfolio. And company has gone bust, guys. It's gone bust. We had the news yesterday, and we got a major movement to the downside of over 70%, guys. This is what you get, okay? This is what you get. I lost over $10,000 total here with this cryptocurrency. It is what it is, guys. It's part of the game. If you want to risk it for the biscuit, sometimes you need to go down the rabbit hole. Everything pointed out it was looking good, guys, but if a company filed for bankruptcy, basically, right? They've just basically gone bust. They shared this yesterday, legends, okay? I have a bunch of cryptos that are doing very well, right? I don't get much messages of what happened to Chainlink, right? All of those people, right? We talked about Chainlink. Chainlink is an average of 3-4x since 2023, right? Range that we formed here. And I don't see many people, you know, saying you should talk about Chainlink, right? It's doing awesome. But I was talking about this, you know, Chainlink accumulation throughout many months here, guys. Back in 2022, part of 2023. And this one's doing great. And this one's over 10% of my portfolio. So this is definitely offsetting, you know, those cryptos that go bust. I've got 2 cryptos that have gone absolutely bust, guys. I've lost over 10,000, and on another one, I've almost lost $20,000 in the last couple of years. And, you know, there's no shame about it, guys. This is why it remains a very small percentage of the portfolio. Sora Network, you know, I lost all my money on this one, all of it, guys. Not like Umbrella. On this one, I lost 99.999%, literally, because this one's had a massive inflation issue. And yeah, this one's gone down the toilet, guys. Down the toilet, big time. It is what it is, guys. You know, we don't always win every single one of them. Obviously, my good bets do offset these insignificant losses. Nobody likes to lose as well, right? But this is why it's a small percentage. This was also around about 1% of my portfolio. Sora Network, down the toilet. We got another one, which is Umbrella. I do not control the team and when they're going to go bust. They did inform this on X yesterday, and of course, while they were announcing this, it was a low cap crypto anyway, so everybody just, you know, a run on the bank, right? We need to talk about this. I cannot hide it. I cannot suddenly forget about it without going through it on YouTube. But we're very vocal about, guys, this is a higher risk, higher return if it does manage to recover. And, you know, it's a small percentage. You should have bigger percentage on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link. In my case, you can do what you want. And 80% of my portfolio is Bitcoin and Ethereum and Chainlink being the latest ones. ICP is one of them that I'm taking a pretty significant risk, which is about 5% of my portfolio right now. And yeah, I've invested quite a significant chunk in ICP, guys, making you realize that we could be testing the lows at $4.20, guys, which I would just be happy to increase the portfolio. I would go aggressive. I don't think this, the ICP is going to go bust. I like the chart. I like the project. It is down a little bit, not much, guys. You know, $5 is my average buying zone from the last few months. It's part of the game, guys. You never know when a company is going to go bust. Okay, so we can talk about this all day long, but come on, you need to give me some good comments as well based on other predictions and other scenarios. We mainly focus on Bitcoin trading. We do get Ethereum trading as well on the chart. Education, you know, trading is the main idea here. Let's turn the music down because it's probably a little bit loud, right? Trading is the main education on the channel. Right, that's what we do best. We look for setups. We prove the setups. We do technical analysis. This was the latest one, double bottom, very good entry. The retracement on yesterday's price action was also a very acceptable entry. You take that with a grain of salt. A double bottom here was without a doubt an option, or a three-wave structure and recovery was an option to get this rally to claim the highs. You know, we talk about many scenarios. Gold is interesting. Gold is one of them that we mentioned, okay, a few weeks ago already, the second week of August, guys. I mean, somebody asked about gold to do analysis a few weeks ago, and we just stopped, you know, about 15 minutes on the chart to analyze gold. And this is what we analyzed on gold. This was on the 8th of August, guys. Get a retracement to the golden pocket 7-8 zone, and then look for the rally to hit all-time high. On the 8th of August, guys, we were looking at a complex WXY structure, and we had very much strong conviction that this was going to happen on gold, right? This is a crypto channel, but something interesting, somebody actually talked about gold on a WhatsApp group that I'm in right now, saying, you know, something has broken, something is, you know, something's happening because gold's hitting all-time high. And I'm like, you know, this was likely to happen, likely to happen when we're considering Elliott wave theory. It was just a complex corrective range, which is literally this right over here, right? Hang on a minute. This right over here. A sideways WXY, we were very likely inside of our D wave from a large consolidation. And we were looking for one more pullback before pushing up to all-time high, right? It's a very technical, complex sideways, lots of waves, very confusing, but was mentioned here on the channel back in August, the second week of August. We were looking for one more pullback and then head up into September to all-time high. When we do take a look at the chart of gold, well, there it is. There it is. This is where we were trading. So one more pullback, shoot up to all-time high into September, which was the highest probability analyzing this, you know, bullish corrective consolidation. And yeah, I mean, just out of education, right? Nobody cares, but something that I wanted to point out. I remember talking about gold when we were trading in this range, and I went back to the video to say, you know, I remember talking about, you know, into September, we're very likely going to see gold hitting new all-time high. You know, this is the power of Elliott wave theory, right? It does give you that extra edge on realizing what is the likely scenario to happen in the coming weeks. So overall, we are getting that breakout on Bitcoin. Absolutely golden. Very, very nice indeed. Let's see if we do get a little bit of follow through here. Stock market is potentially pushing to the upside. Let's see. Oh no, stock market is getting a bit of a dump. Maybe a little recovery right now. Stock market not doing so well in the last few hours. And Bitcoin's getting a bit of a rally. I would like to see Bitcoin to get all the way up. I think it's a very easy target zone, and hopefully, I mean, this is absolutely golden because Ethereum's not doing that well, which is what I want to see. That's what I want to see, right? Ethereum is like, yeah, it did get a little rally here as well. It is trying. But overall, that Bitcoin long position, my target zone, this is a swing trade. I'm obviously saying to the people in the VIP group in Telegram and the Legends Pro that I have no major changes. I didn't add to the position just as of yet. But overall, I think that Bitcoin could have the potential at least to push to $113,000 to $114,000. And that's where I want to collect my first profits from this long position. Now, there are many reasons to believe that that is a possibility based on Elliott wave theory, and this would be one of them. This would be one of them right over here. When you do analyze the structure of this momentum to the downside, you realize that you have these waves, right? Let's just keep it simple. This push down, bounce, push down, bounce. Structure, lower high, lower lows, right? In this lower low zone, I realized in the last few days, not only based on Elliott wave theory, based on the amount of support, that this was likely going to hold here with a local double bottom, which was the main idea that we mentioned a few days ago. Right? This is becoming the interesting zone to get a double bottom, guys, especially realizing that the bounce that we had was very corrective right? Lots of overlap, very choppy, high amount of volume on the last push up, retracing. Yeah, this is not likely a leading move to the upside, right? This is very, very corrective. And taking out those lows, coming down to the base of support, which is, you know, the anchored VWAP from the lows of April and the point of control. I mean, if you want to keep it simple, guys, this is support. If you want to take a shot, look for double bottoms in this range, right? You know, sometimes we need to simplify the possibilities here. And overall, when we do take a look at the waves internally, which gives us that extra edge on targets and where the price could potentially bounce, well, the possibilities of bouncing in this one was coming all the way up here to $114,000 range, which is a beautiful liquidity grab zone, right? We do have lots of liquidity still to the downside, don't get me wrong here, but we're probably going to get that later on throughout the next coming days, 1 to 2 weeks. I don't think that the low is in. I don't think that we shoot up from here to all-time high. I think we do potentially form a larger corrective structure throughout the next coming weeks. And there is a simple explanation based on that, and that is time. The timing the market is one of the most important things to realize, more on the higher time frame as well, when you're looking for a little bit of a swing trade setups, right? So the overall idea here was this contracting diagonal, and for this to be the low and, you know, really recover to all-time high here, guys, it's low probability, and it all has to do with timing. You know, very rare that you would see a massive recovery to all-time high with this structure. Okay, you at least preferably want to cross the 382 timing, right? And, you know, preferably maybe even hit, you know, the 0618. So preferably this probably chops around. This is no indicator. It's not a, you know, a rule that you need to cross this level, but preferably you do before you get the correction, the 0382. Or at least get close to it, right? And end a major structure. This does look very, very one wavy, okay? And it would be nice to form a little bit more of a symmetrical 3 waves, you know, zigzaggy structure. Double zigzag would be the idea here if this is the scenario that's going to play out. The bearish case is still not invalidated, even though if you do hit $114,000. We were talking about this on yesterday's live stream as well. Anybody that joined yesterday, well, we were talking about the possibility of the price of Bitcoin still having a very bearish case, which is a multiple 1-2, right, to the downside. And even this right over here could be your wave 2 instead of this small little one right there, right, where you do actually create a flat here, right? Because you have a major leg to the downside, a flat here, and flats without a doubt are very possible. It would be a little bit overextended in time, in my opinion, compared to your first wave 2, which is already, you know, lowering the probabilities that you're looking for a multiple 1-2 breakdown here. So yeah, this is not looking that great. If you do claim $114,000, I would be looking at the other options, and the other options would be a double zigzag, right, where you are counting this movement to the downside as a zigzag move to the downside here, and your flat is your wave X, right? That would be a very, very interesting scenario, because you're possibly going to get a lot of people quite bullish in this range, and this is not going to be an easy execution short, guys. Okay, I would be very interested in shorting above 113.5k, the lower highs, but it's not going to be easy. This could really shoot up to higher levels, so we really need to analyze the situation. I will let the community know on the VIP eventually when I am taking these trades and how I'm managing these trades, just like the latest one on Bitcoin, which is for the moment doing a-okay. It's doing pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see if we do. You know, this is a swing trade idea. It's going to take a few days to develop, very possibly. And the target zone is hitting $114,000. This is, you know, documented in the VIP and in the pro community. I'm having a very chilled way of trading, and it's just remaining patient and realizing the reversals that could happen in this zone. Obviously, considering the amount of support that we do have down here, which is the point of control of this range and the anchored VWAP. So yeah, we need to consider how the waves can develop here, right? Good support, good confluence. And now is where we do talk about, yeah, if we do rally all the way up to $114,000, what we do have is the anchored VWAP from all-time high. I like anchored VWAP. It's a good level. You know, I'm not a moving average guy, but for VWAP, I've always liked the VWAP for many years, the session VWAP. And I mean, automatically an anchored VWAP, which you do take from a major pivot high or a major pivot low, is very important. They do get respected very well. And if you add a little bit of Elliott wave theory, then you're in the zone. You're in the zone, guys. You're in the zone. Trading in the zone, right? Where you can really, with good risk management, you're riding, you know, the movements very nicely. And that's the edge that you get, guys, with experience, with a few years, right? And I'm just, I decided that in the VIP group that I'm just going to share my experience and my trading setups from the higher time frame in the VIP. If you are interested in joining that, guys, it's very easy to join. You just need to log in here, sign up. Well, you just join the Telegram community, and to join the VIP, it's as simple as joining one of the exchanges, Bluffing, Weeks, okay? Make a minimum deposit. We get you in the VIP, and I am sharing exactly my trades, how I'm navigating the market, which is overall not doing too bad. So let's go right away through the other scenarios. Anybody that's interested, first link down below, guys, to join the Telegram, okay? And I'm just documenting my trading journey, right? So let's go through the comment section, guys. I'm sorry about that. It's very rude from me not saying hello to the beautiful community here. Hope you're enjoying the education. Hope you do enjoy me, the technical analysis and the different projections and what we're looking at. Got a fly here that's not, you know, making my life impossible. Staffer1, my man, much love to you. Jackie Wood, mother here, always giving support. Owen, how are you doing, my man? S&P 500 showing massive drops. I know S&P 500 is, damn, what's going on with this? Right, I haven't really charted the S&P really. It's just entertaining to watch the price action. But yeah, getting a pretty significant drop here, and Bitcoin's getting a nice little bounce, also followed by Ethereum. Let's go Supreme Murad, best TA legend, much love to you, my man. I'm probably not the best TA legend, okay, but what I'm very good at is risk management. I can tell you that. I'm very good at risk management. Staffer1, let's go. BTC needs to go higher as it should, says Staffer1. Absolutely, brother. Yeah. It ain't winter yet, so I make sense. Lol, I'm kidding. Damn, Alec, how are you doing? Two big paws. Jason Casper had a guy on the other day. He spoke so much like you. Accent. Yeah, that's Daniel. I was there on the stream. Daniel from Chart Champion. Shout out to him. Yeah, he's from the UK. Well, I'm from Spain, but my mum's from the Isle of Man. Isle of Man, it's an island in between England and Ireland, okay? So yeah, but yeah, I do know Daniel very well. I did meet him a few years ago. Awesome trader, very good education, okay? He's actually top-notch trader, I can tell you that. And yeah, he's from the UK. I actually joined the stream to watch them. Very nice, entertaining, good lads. doing a collaboration. The longs are printing money. Let's go, 𝗬cie𝗂𝗿. Yes, they are. Let's see if we do manage to make a bit of money here. I am targeting 113k, guys. 113.5. I am targeting these lower highs right over here. Let's go, Bitcoin. This is going to be the trade. At a first target, take profit. Let's see. And this is the level that I want to talk about of confluence, right? The level of confluence that we do have here is the value area low and the anchored VWAP from the all-time high, right? Well, value area low is actually, yeah, sitting a little higher. It all depends if you're counting this price action. But yeah, round about this zone, just as you do, if you do manage to get above this lower high, guys, this is the struggle zone. It is the struggle zone, okay? Depending on how we move up there, we need to really analyze the situation, okay? Because I'll tell you what, this is how the price could get up there if we are not in some kind of a corrective structure. Because, I mean, unless the price, you know, this could really very much form a double zigzag. You get a correction here, you move up and then you move down, very similar to this price action, right? I do not know if we are going to hit these highs. You know, you could actually form a double zigzag where you got a zigzag here, move to the upside, this correction, and another zigzag up, very similar to this price action. And then we move into the multiple 1-2 setup, right? Which is obviously no bueno. It's not good, because this is a very, very bearish case. As long as you're forming bearish market structure, you know, the most bearish case scenario eventually is, you know, the multiple 1-2 where you end up breaking down. We're not out of the woods here, guys. You know, for the moment, you want to try and long the lows here, just to have good risk management and have a projected target, which is very much realistic based on Elliott wave theory, based on liquidity, based on anchored VWAP, value area low, based on confluence. I think we do have a chance here in taking out these highs. And I'm going to explain in this live stream how I am going to approach a short position here, guys. If we do get up there, I am taking profits from my long and I'm looking for a short position. This is the zone that I'm looking at to see if it can hit. Then I'm looking for shorts in this area. And I will get in that short, depending on how the price action moves, right? So let me just explain what I want to see here. Based on one of the scenarios, as we do have that huge amount of confluence here with the anchored VWAP and the value area low and the liquidity grab above $114,000. Well, what I would be looking for eventually is some kind of a, you know, failed breakout, liquidity grab from this high, failed auction, swing failure pattern, liquidity grab, whatever you want to call it. And will it be that easy where it just gets a pump, it hits the anchored VWAP and it gets the rejection SFP of the anchored VWAP and it starts moving down very aggressively? I do not know, guys. You know, it's not about predicting if we are going to get up there and getting into the first short position. Do you know how I would want the price to move up there, guys? I need the price to move exactly how I'm going to explain right now, guys, because if not, I won't enter the short. And, you know, it's pretty interesting right now because, I mean, when we do take a look at the gold chart, guys, I mean, absolutely insane. Absolutely insane how the gold, you know, created that sideways WXY throughout the last few months. I mean, I'm not a, you know, I don't trade gold. I don't trade the S&P. I used to many years ago, but I mainly trade Bitcoin, you know, Ethereum, and that's basically it. Maybe some altcoin if it's very clear setup. But this would have been a very good gold long position, guys. Getting into a long at the golden pocket 7/8 Fibonacci from this pivot low to the pivot high. Golden pocket tapped. You're looking for a long stop loss at the low. You're targeting all-time high. Very good risk to reward. Very, very good risk to reward. This was, this was explained on the 8th of August. You're looking for a pullback down to the golden pocket and then bouncing into September to all-time high. 2 waves in advance with the timing when this could happen and the projection. If you know, guys. If you're in the game and you're in the zone and you know what you're talking about, well, yeah, this is, the power of, in this case, Elliott wave theory, eventually understanding that this is a very corrective structure that is likely going to finish in the next couple of weeks. I didn't long this, guys, but I don't trade gold or the S&P. We can analyze it a little bit and we can talk about the scenario. And this I remember just yesterday I got someone in a group saying, oh my goodness, gold is hitting all-time high. Something's wrong. I'm thinking, I'm sure I remember analyzing gold in August that we were very likely going to hit all-time high and entering into September with the timing in September, guys. So anyway, just to let you know that there is power in knowing what you're talking about and analyzing the waves and the movements. And then, so on surprise, I did get someone on yesterday's live stream saying, waves is not truth. What the heck is this comment? Waves is not truth? What are you talking about? Waves is not truth. Come on, man. Give me a break. Anyway, let's continue through the comment section, and then we'll analyze, a little bit on how I want the price of Bitcoin to understand the sign of weakness coming into this level, guys, because I trade Bitcoin and I am interested in a short in this zone. However, if we were to get up there, because we might roll down from here, guys, the multiple 1-2 is very real. Very, very real. So you want to try and long here at the lows of the zone to give the chance of this. And if you do break down, wait for the reaction, double bottom. If you break down, let the price go. There will be a moment where the price stops and forms a consolidation, just like we did right over here, where we can predict when we get proof of support to look for these possible setups. Double bottom, guys. Just a few days ago, we were looking for a double bottom here. Few days ago, guys, 2 days ago, double bottom from the 107.4K. Now the question is, did you take action on that double bottom? Liquidity grab from the lows based on the movement up was very corrective, right? This was on one scenario, but also the WXY here, with the flat here was also, same scenario, but basically understanding that this was corrective. And if you want to long, this was better to look for shorts down to the low, obviously. But if you wanted to long, look for that movement. So we did move down and we did get the bounce here. So would I say that this is a zone to long right now? Absolutely not, guys. Never in a million years. I would want to long right over here where we at right now. No way. No way I'm longing here the bounce. Got the point of control, right, of this zone, right? Naked point of control if you wish. Golden pocket, right? Golden pocket, point of control. Would rather prefer looking for a short, but I'm not going to short this because I do realize that we could be climbing up here in a multiple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That's what I'm looking for anyway. This is what I'm betting on right now at the moment. I'm not interested in the short, but I realize we could drop down from here because we do have a very strong bearish case. So it's not about predicting what's the next move. It's understanding where you want to participate in the move. Because, yeah, there is a very brutal bearish case that could actually form a lower high here in this area. golden pocket to the 7/8 still could form a lower high. The local trend from the last few weeks is down. So yeah, I mean, there is a chance of a lower high here and rolling back down to the lows. So there's no way in a million years that I would be interested in getting into a long position here. Down here, absolutely. Double bottom, pump, back test the previous week, close. Yeah, bring it on. I'm interested in longs here, realizing that this could have been the end of the structure. And I want to long the possible projection. So it's all about, if we roll down from here, then, happy days. It is what it is. I'm managing risk. I've got a good entry. I can take that. So yeah, this is not a zone to long, without a doubt. We are hitting big resistance, which is this naked point of control, if you wish, from this zone, and the golden pocket from the last, major pivot lower high, swing lower high to the swing low. Golden pocket, point of control. Yeah, never a zone that you would want to long, right, into resistance. So how does the price need to develop for me to get into the next trade, right? Into my next swing trade. And I am more interested in looking for shorts because I am in a long. And I'm interested in shorts, but I'm interested in a little bit of higher levels for that short. And I want to explain to you, just so we can come up in the next live stream to say, guys, remember what we talked about? Well, that's really kind of what happened, right? So this is what we like to do best here on the channel, to kind of prove the analysis. I mean, gold was pretty epic, guys. Come on, what the heck? The timing was perfect. The Fibonacci retracement was perfect. The timing into September to hit all-time high was perfect. It cannot get any better than this. It cannot get any better than this, guys. So anyway, let's get right away through the comment section, and then I'll discuss, what I'm looking for and how the price needs to develop for me to get into my next big trade, which in this case would be a short because I'm in a long already. And let's see if the price does manage to push a few $1,000s throughout the next coming days. And if we roll down, it does not matter. I would not be interested in looking for longs if we claim this low again, because I realize that this no longer becomes an impulsive move. I would not be looking for a multiple 1-2 anymore here. This would be a very dodgy, flat, very long wave 2 here compared to this one. And I would no longer, if we do get an aggressive drop, I would look to exit that long with very good risk management and being very aware of the breakdown here, guys. Just being very aware. Manage risk very, very well, guys. If you do get in with a big position and you're in the wrong side of the market, I know people that are just putting limit longs here. And don't get me wrong, many times it will succeed, it will go well, okay? But the moment it doesn't, you literally get wrecked, because all of the people that put massive amount of limit longs usually risk more than 10, 20, 30, 50%. They literally go all in, right? Kind of thing. It's a dangerous way of getting liquidated. So many times it will get the bounce and you will catch it eventually, okay? But I just want people to be defensive, be responsible, and make the most of it long term. Let's go through comment section, then I'll explain what I need to see, guys, in the next coming days, potentially with the possibility of coming to this area, which is where I would be very interested, right? Where there's a lot of resistance, liquidity grab, anchored VWAP, exhaustion, possible price action, and on the exhaustion, if we get up there, is where I want to execute a short position, realizing that we could roll back down in the next coming days, couple of weeks, to the lows again. And this zone, without a doubt, would be a moment that people are going to be bullish. This is it, guys. We've broken out. We've broken the structure. That's it. The downtrend has finished, right? And I will be explaining why we do have a very bearish case eventually that is getting a massive rejection in this area. But first of all, let's go through the comment section. Let's get that like button absolutely destroyed, legends, because come on, you do enjoy the education. We are here to not talk BS. Come on, that gold prediction hang on a minute. It was about 3 weeks ago when we were trading, looking for the pullback here and getting this rally. I mean, this was pretty epic. I'm even surprised myself. Not really. Anyway, let's go through the comment section and say hello. Make more, lose less. Make more, lose less. Absolutely. Singularity X. Why isn't Ethereum breaking down? So annoying. Terrible price action. Why isn't Ethereum breaking down? Anyway, we're moving on with this, guys. Umbrella network. Move on. It is what it is. It's a very insignificant, small percentage of the portfolio. I did strongly believe that this would be a good zone to scoop up some. Don't make it a huge amount of your portfolio, realizing that this is the 50x crypto that's going to change your life. That's not how it works in crypto, guys. Some companies go bust. I got bust on 2 crypto altcoins. I am an investor. I never know the future of these projects, and I lost here, guys. But it's an insignificant. I'll tell you what, I made more money in trading Bitcoin in the last month than what I invested in Umbrella. About 10 times more. It's insignificant. I was very much vocal about this, guys. Don't invest too much on these altcoins. I'm just telling you my portfolio, and I'm doing pretty damn good based on Chainlink, Ethereum, and Bitcoin eventually, which have done, Bitcoin's done over a 4 or 5x from my average entry zone. Ethereum, not that much, about a 2.5x. And yeah, Chainlink about a 3 to 4x max. Okay. Eventually, if you don't, if you've got that investment throughout the last few years, right, give or take 3-4 years of investment, it's going to offset that 1-2% altcoin that you invested that's gone bust, right? I think a lot of people struggle very much to organize their portfolio, okay? Because I know a lot of people just enter the game and they go through lots of low cap altcoins because they're the ones that are probably going to make life-changing games, right? Bitcoin's not going to do a 50x, guys, potentially in the next 5 years or 10 years. It might do a 10x, go to $1 million in 5 years, 10 years. But people don't, 5x ain't going to change my life, right? So I do get the point why people do invest in altcoins, because that's where you have your shot, right? But that's where you have massive risk and high potential in losing. Now, this is why everybody's crying because of altcoins, right? Everybody's crying because, what a crappy bull market, right? Or I'm in the red, I'm losing money. Always stay with the big players. Always stick around with the big players. Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? And some of the other big ones, right? Because they're the ones that are likely going to survive and make some returns, 3, 4, 5x. It's just the reality, guys. So what we're going to do. Hello, Andy. Spring point on ICP soon. RM3. This is what I'm betting on, guys. I will let you know. Don't worry. I am paying attention to ICP. We're very much aware of ICP claiming the lows again. And what we want to see, and I will make this very vocal on YouTube, guys, where if we do claim the lows, doesn't matter if we close a daily candle down beneath this low, guys. It doesn't matter. When we create the reclaim of this area, I'm going to be looking for, I'm going to be investing quite big here. I might turn this 10% of my portfolio just to take the shot for at least making a 4 or 5x in the next coming months. I will let you know, guys, on YouTube without a doubt, but the spring point needs a recover from the lows of the range, okay? And this is basically what happened with Chainlink. And it does make sense for this to happen because we have a major impulsive move to the upside here and a very corrective structure on ICP. 3-wave move. We've got only one leg to the upside. And it makes sense to form a zigzag at a bare minimum here, right, throughout the next coming months. So, you know, I'm going to take the shot here. I'm just letting you know what I am doing. And a spring point here is very juicy, very interesting to position ourselves very well before we recover, at least to visit these highs and then hopefully, you know, get the successful breakout. Chainlink created a awesome spring point, right, on an accumulation schematic when we do take a look at Chainlink here on the lower time frame. And this is what we did not, well, this is what we were waiting for throughout many months. Will, you know, in this accumulation, will we create the spring point, or will we just consolidate here, form a higher low, and then go? Right? We were in doubt in this zone. Regardless, it doesn't matter. You know, you end up recovering very, very aggressively. And look how we just created the spring point after a multi-monthly, okay, range accumulation. This would have been your best sweet spot, right, to buy. Eventually, you want the recovery. That's where you want to, you know, obviously, this is where you realize that this is a failed breakdown. You know, smart money is buying here. So with that same theory on ICP, and it's a big bet on me, guys. If ICP were to go bust as a company, I will be very, very sad. I will be losing, you know, I don't know, about $60,000-$70,000 approximately. So yeah, I would not want to see that if possible. So it will be a little bit of a scratch for sure, you know, but you need to risk it for the biscuit. I would not assume. ICP is a very good working project, okay, blockchain project, you know, leading in AI. Lots of tokens are locked. I think it's going to do well, guys. I think it's going to do well. The chart looks amazing, which is most important for me as a chart analyst. So anyway, very much RVM3. Let's go. I'm on board in ICP from 2023. Wow. Yeah, 2023 maybe you bought. I'm not sure where you must have bought ICP in 2023. I mean, if it was this area, yeah, I mean, it's basically in the zone. I mean, it does make sense. Obviously, I would expect this area being the highest volume node zone. Yeah, I mean, literally, I mean, this, look at this. This could be the sweet spot, guys, right? How epic would this be to come down and create that spring point at the point of control of this range? It's literally like, it's a very high probability scenario that this does maintain support. This massive consolidation to the downside that we had throughout 22 and 23 has left us the highest volume node sitting literally where we almost tapped in April, sorry. It's just the perfect storm to create a spring point after a multi-monthly consolidation, guys. It's the perfect storm to have the last shakeout before things take off here. I mean, we'll be watching this, guys. I ain't going nowhere. And we could probably buy this live on, you know, there's many exchanges that have ICP, but I will buy, you know, a few $10,000, guys, live on stream if we do get there, just to go, guys, this is the moment. I'm going all in on this. Not all in, but you get the point, right? So yeah, let's see. I think there is a high chance that we are going to get down there, guys, because there's nothing bullish about this move, unfortunately. I haven't sold my ICP that I bought throughout the last few months. You know, I'm not in for, I'm going to sell here to buy here, right? I'm not in that game, guys. I don't really care. I'll just buy more because I do have cash on the sidelines. So, but yeah, it doesn't look very bullish. There's nothing bullish about this move up, I have to say. It's very, very corrective. So, yeah, the chances of getting the last leg down here is very, very likely. So just so you are aware of that, okay? I'm fine. I'm holding on, you know, slight unrealized losses of 20%. I'm okay with that. But people get very angry with, you know, I'm in a 20% loss or 30% loss, and, you know, they might come up and bash me up, but we're happy to hold on. Anyway, let's go. Rune, 𝗬𝗍𝘆𝗽. I would love that dip on ICP. Let's go. I mean, it's also the point control of this range, right? Of 2022 and 2023. I mean, how epic would that be? It's just you have the biggest, highest volume node, which is exactly testing those lows from April. It's gonna be magical, guys. It's gonna be magical to see the reaction first, guys. Okay, imagine you break down successfully from here and you go to $2. Wow, you know, I would, as mentioned, I would really want to see the fake breakdown of the lows of the range. It is crucial for me. I don't mind. It doesn't matter if you buy ICP here or here, guys. If it is going to recover, it doesn't matter based on 20-30 cents. Trust me, it's just not worth taking the shot of putting limit longs or whatever here. It's not worth it. If it is going to be a fake out, we will see on the price action that it faked out, and it's going to be time to go long or buy ICP or whatever once you reclaim the lows. Because if you break down, you know, I'm going to say, you didn't wait for the reclaim. We didn't reclaim the lows. It is important to wait for the reclaim so you can confirm it is a fake out. How can we confirm that something fakes out? Creating the fake out. Right? So we need the reclaim of the lows basically here. Muy importante. Muy importante. Let's go through the comment section and then we'll go through what I'm looking for here for Bitcoin, because you know what I would love is Ethereum to dump and Bitcoin to pump. I mean, that would be absolutely epic, but I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. We're likely going to see Ethereum recovering here. I mean, the Ethereum BTC chart is ready for a pullback. You know, Bitcoin can pump and Ethereum can dump. It is possible. If the Ethereum BTC chart does correct from here, which is what I am looking for many weeks here, I want to see the Ethereum BTC chart get a significant correction here, just because we have a massive third wave rally that's, come on, it's time right now. Sweep up the lower highs of this order block, if you wish. Monthly order block. It is a monthly order block. And get a big correction. Even though if Bitcoin does pump and the Ethereum BTC chart, if it does correct aggressively, Ethereum could dump against Bitcoin. Bitcoin pumps, Ethereum dumps. Why? Because the Ethereum BTC chart is correcting down. It's losing value against Bitcoin. So, I mean, this is why I'm, you know, people kind of surprised, you know, why are you still maintaining your Ethereum short position and you're long on Bitcoin? Doesn't the market move the same? Well, no, not always. A lot of the times it does, but not always. So it's kind of worth still sticking with this Ethereum short, because the Ethereum BTC chart is ready for a pullback. It is ready for a pullback. It is ready for a pullback. So yeah, anyway, let's go and continue through the comment section and let's explain a little bit here what I want to see. This is not a level for me to do anything, guys. I really want the price to get up here. How do we get up there is crucial. I want to explain how we need to get up there for me to execute a short, because a lot of people would say, well, I'm just gonna, you know, we create the first swing failure pattern, I'm going epically short from here and just taking the shot. I'm a little bit more conservative and I want to explain how I want to see the price action here, guys, to execute the short safely with better risk management and more confidence with higher probability, right? That's what you want to do. That's what you do. ICP, yeah, I know. I'm sorry, man. It is what it is. Don't worry about it. Do theta, please. Please, your opinion on theta. Yeah, we can take a look at altcoins. I need to go through Bitcoin first of all. Okay, I want to talk about a scenario which could happen. We always need to talk about a scenario here on YouTube, guys. Always need to talk about a scenario. Just like this one that was a few days ago. I mean, look at my face. I was like, you know what? This could be a good long. Double bottom from the lows here that we formed at 107.4. Who longed the double bottom here, guys? Who longed this double bottom based on this price action? You know, to get that recovery up. We always need to give a setup, guys. This is where we make the money. Not holding your, you know, your dog meme coin. We make money trading here. I lost money buying Umbrella. I lost it. Company went bust. I mean, I do invest as well, guys, and you know, it is what it is. We need to trade the market, guys. Who cares? I'm like, this went down the toilet. Okay, move on. Time to trade. Time to make some money. So there is a very interesting short position in this area, which I'm going to explain how the price needs to move for me to execute that trade safely, with confidence, and with good risk management. That's what you want to know. The big threes. Let's go right here. Bro and I traded in same area. Bro and I traded in the same area. Absolutely wonderful. Who's long? Let's go. I did, Andy. I did. Lol. Who? Staffer1 is in the long as well. He's making bank. Stop making money. We're going to be tired, guys, of making so much money, right? You're going to please no more. We just keep winning, guys. We just keep winning. I can't take it anymore. We just win and win. That's from Donald Trump, guys. Who's watched that video from Donald Trump? We can't take it anymore. You're just going to be tired of winning. Rune, yeah, we can take a look at Rune later on, okay? I'm in at 4.6. I guess that is ICP. ICP below bearish support. ICP looks dead. Well, I mean, yeah, this is what can we say? You know, when you do take a look at Chainlink, you know, how did Chainlink look here, guys? You know, below support. You know, come on, below the support band, you might say. Don't come in here and talk me about support bands and you know, all of that nonsense. Don't do that. Imagine this. I mean, we need to get all the drawing away. Never mind. Anyway, I mean, this did not look good at all, right? It really did look dead. Chainlink down here at the bear market. Nobody is literally interested, really. This is dead. It ain't going nowhere, right? But eventually Chainlink did. This is the massive buying zone eventually that I got in heavily on Chainlink, and I really want to sell some Chainlink. I do really want to sell some Chainlink. I am pretty convinced that we are going to hit the, you know, plus $30 in the next coming weeks, and I'm going to start exiting, guys. I'm sorry, I'm going to start exiting Chainlink above $30. Bear market ain't going to catch me this time. It ain't going to catch me this time. We will leave some moon bags, but I'm going to cash out some big percentages. That is for sure. So Bitcoin, let's go right away. Thank you very much for joining, guys, and smashing up the like button. Let's see how many likes we do have. At least 300 legends. Come on. 150? You have to be joking. You have to be joking, guys. We cannot talk about Bitcoin double bottom long position a couple of days ago, giving you the possible entry zone to get a recovery, understanding that we're likely going to test the low. The low is not in, and if we do test the low, a double bottom is likely, and we could bounce a few $1,000s, and I get 150 likes, and then, you know, this is not acceptable. This is not acceptable, guys. All right, let's talk about what I would like to see on the price action, because I am targeting 113.5, 114. It could shoot through this zone. It might just as well get a bit of power and get a little bit of a punchy price action to the upside. But it is a zone where I do see the price dancing around a lot, okay? It's probably going to dance. It's probably going to dance here. It's probably going to dance around in this zone. So, when we go to the lower time frames and we try and identify from the low how the price is moving to the upside, right? Let's just keep it nice and simple and easy. You have your low here from Monday. We got the first rally in the first three-wave structure. And I need to give a shout out to 𝗬𝗍 here. 𝗬𝗍, are you in the comment section? Holy crap. 𝗬𝗍 yesterday with the insane prediction. Andy, please reply. 𝗬𝗍, bro, I am long from your point. What should be the first TP? Where can I move up my stop loss? I am targeting 113.5. I am targeting here. This is a significant zone of take profit. Stop loss, yeah, I mean, if you entered in this area, from this movement up, I don't want to see the price losing this low, if I'm honest with you, okay? I mean, if this were to be a 5-wave structure right now, let's connect the possible wave 1 and 3 and the wave 1 and 2. Sorry, 2 and 4. What am I talking about? Could still technically be a contracting diagonal. I mean, unless your wave 5. Yeah, so yeah, this is unlikely going to be. Yeah, this is no kind of a 5-wave move to the upside, because if we are talking about a contracting diagonal, your wave 5 already is you know, longer than your wave 3. So that's not possible. It's not a contracting diagonal. It's not an impulse, this wave to be the wave 3. We're obviously not. You're overlapping. So this is longer than this wave, which is not possible in a contracting diagonal. So this is not, you know, if you were, you know, this has to be a multiple 1-2 setup. So preferably, you know, you either have 1-2, 1-2, you're breaking out here in a third wave, or you have one more correction and then you break out. So you have a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, you move up. Because if you do retrace from here, right, let's just imagine that you get a consolidation, you take the highs and then you move down aggressively. If you move down to this low, I will exit the position. This is where my entry zone is, literally. I do not want the price in the next movement to come down to this higher low, because this will no longer look like an impulse, a leading move to the upside. You were losing the last higher lows. I want to get out of the market. I want to get out. I want to get out. So you could kind of put your stop loss at break even depending on where you entered, without a doubt, especially if you entered the double bottom that was mentioned on YouTube. I mean, I did not get into this. This was early morning for me. I entered a little bit later on, okay, in this area. But yeah, you do not want the price to come back down after this structure, because this would be looking very corrective. So if you come down to these lows in the next price action, there will be a high probability to take out the lows, okay? If you form this kind of dump throughout the next 24 hours, you're likely going to, you know, if you get down to test the last higher low, you're likely going to take out this low. This will no longer look impulsive. It won't look like a building up a leading move to the upside, right? So yeah, you just don't want to be hoping or anything. You know, this would be just the same thing as this, basically, right? You get the price action coming down to this low. There's, you know, that's not good business here. No bueno. No bueno. If you're building up, we already mentioned that this was unlikely to be a multiple 1-2 setup here, legends, because yeah, I mean, we're not going to go through that. We don't need to. But it was unlikely, okay? There was a 3-wave move to the upside here. If this were to be a flat, it was much longer than this wave too. So we were like, yeah, multiple 1-2 here does not look sexy. So as soon as you claim these lows, it's bad news. You're likely going to claim this low. Same scenario here. If you get some choppiness here, correction in another high, and you don't shoot up to claim this lower high, and you get a correction down to get down to these last higher low from today, basically, right? We've got a little bit of a dump and pump to 108.5. I will be out of the position till we get more information, because I realize that there's high probability that we're going to take up the lows here, because this no longer will look like an impulse. It will look like a correction, and eventually we are downtrending. We all want the epic reversal to get to higher levels because there's amount of liquidity and rest of it, but we need to recognize that we are downtrending still, and that we still have many bearish case scenarios. I mean, the most brutal one would be the multiple 1-2 setup, which is still very much possible, right? It's still very much a possibility. Multiple 1-2 to the downside, believe it or not, is there. This is no imbalance. You know, even if we were to take up this high, this could move the wave 2 here, just because you have the potential of a flat. So this becomes a better zone to get into a short position, regardless if this is going to be a 1-2-1-2, or we are looking for the WXY, which would be this one right over here. And the amount of confluence that we have here is brilliant, right? You got liquidity, which is basically the liquidity that you have here at 114, 115, few hundred million of liquidity. So yeah, you're getting some liquidity. That's good. You do have the value area low of this entire trading zone that you have in this area, and you got the anchored VWAP from all-time high. So there's a lot of resistance here. Based on the, you know, the ABC flat, not this one here. Based on this one, where instead of this being another 1 and 2, and this is actually your wave 1, and this is an ABC flat, you're moving up in an impulse. Because in a C wave of a flat, you move impulsively. You move like in a 5 wave with high volume, right? You do move pretty aggressively, just like you did right over here, for example, on the lower time frame. So that's the tricky point. As we do have still this 1-2-1-2, this becomes a flat. You're moving up in an impulse, but it's still bearish because it would be a C wave of a flat. Or you have the other scenario, which is this WXY, where you have the zigzag move down. You have your flat structure here. And of course, this still remains the flat, even though it's a 1-2-1-2. But you have your X wave here instead, when there you form a zigzag down. So you're still moving up impulsively here, because what we're looking at here is a possible flat structure. So, you know, with that conclusion, okay, we've got 2 scenarios here that are bearish in the midterm. Low time frame is bullish, because it would be nice to get above 113.5. That's the main target of my long. Well, eventually how the price needs to get up there is literally with a 5 wave, you know, impulsive move. And as we've got these waves developed from the low, what we have for the moment is this movement and this movement. If this move does get continuation, we are going to label it as the wave 3. And if we do get small consolidation pullbacks, test the high, swing failure pattern from this, maybe lots of people are going to be like, well, this is the one. This is the one that I need to go epic short. Stop loss above the high. And then you correct down and you take out the high one more time. And then that's the one that you need to get into the short on the double top, on the rejection. Why? Because you have 2 1-2s here, 1 2 and 1 and 2, and your third wave, which is, you know, potentially this one, just out of speculation, guys, this could move very differently. It could extend a little bit more eventually, but just so you get the idea that you want one pullback here, take out the high, right? You got your wave 4, wave 5, and as you do have 2 1-2s, you want 2 4 and 5s, because the first 4 and 5 is from your wave 3. All of this is your wave 3 basically. So you need one more 4 and 5. And that's the tricky part, right? Where you're looking for not a double top. You're literally looking for a triple top wedgie scenario. And where this amount of confluence that you do have, you know, it's the anchored VWAP, the value area low of the range. You're claiming the liquidity that you do have above us at $114,000 range, give or take maybe 115K, right? Also, so when you analyze the structure, this is the kind of waves that I need to see and, you know, really analyze. I want 2 4 5s because I have 2 1-2s, because I know the first 4 5 is inside of, you know, it's part of the wave 3 basically. All of this would be your wave 3. I mean, this is on the bullish case scenario, guys. We could roll down from here and, you know, and claim the lows. You know, I'm not, you know, I'm not predicting that this is the price action that is going to develop. As a trader, I am realizing that this is one of the ways that we could get up there. And what I'm interested here is in your latest 4 and 5 coming into that major confluent zone, anchored VWAP, claim the liquidity, value area low of the trading zone of the last few weeks. And then get the correction. Do we have something to back up that the projected move to the downside does have the potential in claiming the lows here? Absolutely. Which ones? Well, the WXY or the multiple 1-2 setup, right? Which would be this one right over here, okay? Which is the zigzag down, your flat, and then another zigzag to the downside throughout the next coming weeks. Very possible, very, very possible. Liquidity grab from these highs. You even have a very bearish case scenario, which I wouldn't count on it. It wouldn't look too good based on the timing compared of this wave 2 to this wave 2. It's extremely longer than your first wave 2, which would be this scenario right over here. Hang on a minute. Let's try and find it here throughout the messy folders, which would be this one right over here, right? My God. Let's just clean up the chart a little bit. Right, and zoom out on the 30-minute, right, which would be this one right over here, right? The multiple 1-2 setup. This wave 2 comes here. So we realize that a correction based on this price action from here is likely. Regardless if it's going to be an impulse down to the lows, you know, we know we're going to get a pullback here. We know that after this price action, we are going to get a pullback. Overall question is, will this pullback be aggressive or will it be corrective, right? You're getting lots of choppiness and overlap. That's the moment that I would say, you know what? You know, maybe the low could be in here based on the other bullish case scenario that we mentioned throughout the last few days, which, I mean, I'm not leaning on it, guys, heavily, okay? I would not say that this is a finished move down. It would be this one right over here. The count is very much possible. It could be the end, but the timing is the issue here. The timing is the issue of this being the end of a correction to head up to all-time high. I'm not counting on it, guys. I am not counting on new all-time highs in the next 1 to 2 weeks. Not counting on it. because of the timing. Okay, mainly because of the timing. There is a valid end of structure count here, but I think we're gonna likely reject in this zone. 114, 115. I've explained a little bit what I need to see on the price action, right? Where I would like to see follow through. The moment we get a bit of dumpy action here, I mean, another 1-2, I would accept it. I would say, okay, it's possible. We want to see a corrective kind of price action here. Doesn't matter if it's volatile, but another 1-2 and then 3-4-5. Well, then what we're looking at is 3-4-5s, 3-1-2s, 3-4-5s into this zone. And what we want is that triple top scenario, okay, to then, you know, look for that pullback at some point. So whoever's going to be managing risk here with stop losses at the high is very, you know, is going to struggle, right? We're just taking out the high, and then, you know, till you give up, right? And then when you give up, the price goes. So, you know, just be aware that if we were to get that big leg up here in the next coming hours between today and tomorrow, that you could chop around in this resistance zone, right? You could anchored VWAP, attempt to break it, bounce at support, and then obviously get the reversal, right? So that's a little bit of what I am looking at here for this trade, okay? And we might not even get the movement, guys. We might just roll over here and form another correction, just like we did a few days ago, and we tank to the lows. I wouldn't be concerned. I would be exiting safely my position. You know what's the most important, guys, in your trading is preserve capital, risk management. You can be the best TA guy in the world, that if you're not managing risk and you're going all in on every single trade, you're going to get stopped out a couple of times and you're going to lose your money. It's the most important tool that you have, guys, your risk management. You can be the best technical analyst in the world, that if you don't manage risk, you know, I get stopped out many times, guys. And I share my stop losses in the Telegram. The other day I got stopped out on a Bitcoin long. It was just under $2,000. It's part of the game, guys. You know, it's just it's very, very good risk management for me. So, you know, this trade alone is already 5 times the stop loss because it's a bigger projected move. I exited with a $400, $500 move, and I'm like, I'm out, guys. I'm getting out. I don't like it. When you get a $3,000, $4,000 move, well, eventually you're making much more than that, right? So managing risk is absolutely key, guys, always. Anyway, where is the YouTube play button? Yeah, I need to get it. It's on the way. It's on the way. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, where's the YouTube play button? Yeah, it's probably on the way. I've been told that it does take a few weeks after hitting 100K that I should be getting the play button at some point. I think it does take 2-3 weeks, so it's probably on the way, guys. Probably on the way. Do we need to put it in the back? I'm really not too fussy about it. But anyway, Andy, would you please analyze others? D. And in general, what else will suggest altcoin season? Please take a look at Theta as well. I mean, I can't take a look at everything, guys. You know the deal. Anyway, just an option on what, you know, a possible trade for Bitcoin, guys. I've explained it. I want to see that choppiness. I want to see that resistance here. This is the zone where you can double, triple top. It might be 114. It might be 115. Wait for the exhaustion. Wait for the double, triple tops. And that's where you want to start positioning yourself for that double or triple top, right? Just like this double bottom that we had just a few days ago, that we were very much vocal about it, guys, right? There is a chance that this might be the last leg down here and we do get a significant bounce. Now, I'm interested in the shorts and I want to see the exhaustion exactly in this zone to take profit from my long and potentially look for shorts depending on the price action, guys. It is crucial because lots of people would say, I don't have any time for that. I'm just going to put some limit shorts here and then hope for the best. And then price really shoots up here, right? I wouldn't think so, but anyway, that's not the way you want to trade. Let's just put some limit levels in and go to bed. Be aware, guys, that this is a trade that I'm in from lower prices and we still have many bearish scenarios. Multiple 1-2 is very real here. Nobody wants this. Nobody believes in this. But it's still there, even forming a lower high in this zone or even taking out this high. The scenario is still there. This is why long in here is not the best option unless you're in a long from lower, guys. This is no level to do anything, in my opinion. No long or no short or nothing, guys. You know, let's get to the next big confluence zone and check how the price is reacting. Anyway, let's go through this super chat that somebody asked. And anyway, 𝗖𝗍, there's not much that I can say about 𝗖𝗍. I do have a little bit of 𝗖𝗍 in my portfolio. It was from the previous cycle. I mean, I think 𝗖𝗍, same scenario. It might create the spring point. If we get a little flash crash on Bitcoin and the crypto, this is like the accumulation zone. And, you know, what we do not know is if we're going to create the spring point. But overall, I do like this area for 𝗖𝗍 as buying some on spot, right? Just keeping it simple. Anyway, let's go through that super chat. Others point D. Is that others point D is probably crypto total market cap, excluding the top 10 dominance. Interesting chart. Let's take a look at this right away, legends. Okay, and first of all, before we go through this, let's give a major shout out, okay, to the exchanges, Bluffin and Weeks, guys. Awesome exchanges that they do have insane bonuses down below. You got Bluffin with 10% cashback, guys, on your deposit. 10%. Up to $3,000. You deposit $30K and you're getting $3,000 on top of that for your trading to increase your margin. You get VIP 1 or VIP 2, depending on what you deposit here. As you can see, that decreases your fees. You got that on the second link, okay, or the fourth link for Weeks, which works really, really well also, guys. And if you do sign up with the link down below, you do a minimum deposit, you are joining the Telegram channel. This is where I mentioned the short on Ethereum and the long on Bitcoin, and these have been my main trades for the last few days, which are doing very well. I'm just sharing my trades, how I'm entering, how I'm managing them, how I'm managing risk as well, because the stop loss are hit, guys, but I lost $2,000 on the stop loss. Right now with this big move of a few $1,000s, well, obviously, you know, I'm recovering on that. So yeah, let's if you want to join, guys, you got the first link down below, the Telegram, to join the VIP channel. And, you know, I need to give a shout out to 𝗬𝗍, you know, because he's really leading the way in the pro community. Then we'll take a look at this chart, okay? Give me a second here, because 𝗬𝗍 is an absolute legend. I need to go inside of the pro community, and holy moly, you know, this was actually pretty insane, because he did talk about yesterday. A major shout out to 𝗬𝗍. I'm not sure if he's here in the comment section. He is a coach in the Legends community, okay? And yesterday, 𝗬𝗍 talked about, holy moly, I mean, this was pretty, it was a pretty impressive take on the price of Bitcoin trading yesterday here. I mean, I was personally inside of a long already. But what he talked about was actually getting this leg down to, you know, the point of control of this range based on Binance, claiming this low and forming this movement to the downside to look for the long position. Shout out to you, 𝗬𝗍, inside of the Legends Pro community. Okay, we share screenshots, video updates. We are traders that we're looking for opportunities every single day. 𝗬𝗍 is more inside of the scalping zone, okay? I'm more into chilled swing trades. We're looking at different projections on the higher time frame, just like looking for 113.5. But 𝗬𝗍's like in the zone. We did come down here to sweep up this low with the point of control at 107.6K yesterday, which was pretty damn epic. It's literally this movement down. You know, this was pretty satisfying to see from 𝗬𝗍. And if you want to join the pro community, of course, you know, hook me up, send me a DM inside of the Telegram, okay? You will see me posting some stuff once in a while, and you can send me a DM and I'll let you know how to get in there. So anyway, let's go right away through this chart, which is others. What can we say about this one? I mean, this is without a doubt getting pretty intense with the momentum to the downside. I mean, I would say that this, this is, I'm looking at this is a bit skeptical. I'm a bit skeptical on this. But from the lows, and we're talking about 2014 here, this for me looks pretty interesting without counting the micro waves. That, this has been a major impulsive rally since 2021. And what we are seeing here on the others dominance, right, excluding the top 10, is that we had a bull run throughout 2014 to 2021 in a 5-wave structure, and now we are forming the corrective structure. The overall question eventually, I mean, this regarding timing, I don't think that we're going to get a massive rally here in a wave 3. Not this time. And I mean, this could extend, unfortunately, guys, this could form a much larger kind of a correction. So you might get a nice move up here as we've tested the lows, get to 13% or so, right? Very, very bullish. You get from a move up from 7-8% to 13-14%. But ultimately, I wouldn't expect this to go to 24, 25, break the highs here. I think we're likely gonna form, okay, a larger corrective structure, possibly a double zigzag or so, get an epic bear market eventually throughout 26, 27, and then once we add the washout, we're going to see so many crypto projects that are going to be really advanced, and we are going to be using them in our day-to-day life, right, in a few years, which will ultimately get that massive recovery, and eventually the dominance will go to extreme higher levels, right, after the bear market here in that wave 3, right? It's a kind of an adoption chart. You got the bubble, the first bubble. You're still in the correction of the bubble that could extend a few more years. With a rally here, I mean, you would get a major altcoin rally and there's a little bounce, but ultimately it won't be the one that changes the world, right? And that one is likely going to happen in 4 or 5 years, which is that recovery, right, from 2028, 2029, 2030 potentially, right? So yeah, I mean, I think that this could take a few more years. The rally is likely here. It's one scenario where you form a sideways WXY or a double zigzag. It's a potential, just because we finished a 5-wave move up here since 2014. That does not mean that a major altcoin season rally is probably going to happen eventually in the next coming months. But ultimately, I do see this a few, 1 to 2 years bear market and start of recovery right throughout, 28, potentially 27, 28, where you bottom out and you start recovering. Anyway, that's a little bit of my view here based on the timing, seasonality, 4-year cycle, right? And, this impulsive move to the upside. Just a little bit my overview here. Like Rune Andy, let's take a look at Rune. Why not here? We're doing a little bit of altcoins right now for the community. Smash up the like button, legends, if you do like it. If you do like the analysis, a little bit of my point of view, smash up the like button, guys. It is much appreciated. It does motivate me to go more live, okay? More live streams. I just want to let you know that tomorrow I am traveling. I got a wedding from a very good friend of mine and I am traveling. So I'm very likely not going to be making a live stream tomorrow, guys, or a video update. I will be updating the community, of course, VIP group or the Legends Pro on how I'm handling and where I'm looking for the next setups. If you want that info for tomorrow, I will be getting Wi-Fi, some spots there and here. And there will be no live stream tomorrow, okay? Just so you know, or video update, okay? Because I am traveling tomorrow, just to let the people know, right? But let's go right away through Rune. And yeah, Rune, zoom in, epic dump here on Rune. throughout early 2025. We know that Rune they integrated a lending project, inside of inside of the ecosystem, and it didn't go very well. I think this was the major dump because of that. Overall, it's still one of the best projects in interoperability and cross-chain on blockchain. So it's still a working project. Taking a look at the charts, I would want to believe that the movement up that we have here, is the start of an impulsive move. The main reason why I have major doubts of it is because of the low here, pump, three-wave structure, right? So you got that kind of three-waver here, and then the rally to form a flat, which eventually is not good. Eventually it's not good. Yes, a pump and then down, but what I'm worried about here is a contracting, diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then pump and then back down. I do not want this to be a flat. Regardless, we are looking for a rally at some point. But yeah, this is still very, very soon. You got this one low here. You would still have to form a lower high and one more low to consider a contracting diagonal here to then get the relief rally. If that were to be the case. If not, a three-wave structure. The probabilities of bouncing here on Rune are very, very high. Let's keep it that way, because regardless if you're going to form a lower high, okay, and then move down again, or actually this has been a three-wave structure and you do recover in the next coming weeks, maybe this is an impulse, three-wave structure, you recover. That's an option. Or bearish option is you get the bounce, you form a lower high, and you create one more low, right? Regardless, you're looking for a bounce here. You got big, point of control. Well, point of control was kind of lost, but regardless, you did sweep up the lows here, which is a beautiful liquidity grab, and that's very, very common to get a bounce in this zone. The problem is, will this bounce will be strong or not? So this area on Rune to bounce is actually pretty good. Pretty good level to bounce where we are at the moment. Anyway, that was Rune right away. Be safe on your travel, Andy Bosloth. I will do my best, my man. I will do my best. Who trades gold, guys? Who trades gold? Because man, gold was a pretty nice leg up here. What a nice leg up here on gold, right? Based on an analysis that we made a few weeks ago, guys, with the retracement to the golden pocket zone and the rally entering into September, man, this is the beauty, guys. It's the beauty of technical analysis when you realize where you're at here analyzing gold. This played out to perfection. This was looking for this pullback and then looking for the rally when we were trading in this zone when we created that video update. Muy bien, muy bien, muy bien, muy bien. Let's go, guys. I'm going to wrap it up for today. I will be updating the VIP later on and the can we buy a retracement, Andy, for gold? Well, yeah, as we've had a massive consolidation here, and this is likely the start of an impulsive move, we really need to analyze the correction, okay? We need to analyze the correction to look for longs, okay? Now, right now, price just let it go. Let it go. The corrections is where we can analyze the predictions and the projections, right? And that's what we do here. That's already happened when we analyzed gold a few weeks ago. Much love to everybody. Thank you very much for joining. Remember those insane bonuses, guys, that you get on bluffing or on weeks. Check them out, guys. You have 10% cash back, VIP, depending on what you deposit. Weeks, you do get an airdrop, okay, on weeks to trade there. Check them out, guys. You're eligible for all of these bonuses once you sign up, bluffing, weeks, and you do get access to the VIP if you sign up with the links down below and do a minimum deposit. Legends, thank you very much. You know what I'm looking for Bitcoin. You know where I'm looking for the next trade. If you want more guidance, you have the VIP. I can't be here 24/7. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one.